What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Jurassic World Evolution 2. We are back with a brand new Last Dino Standing video. This time, it's the Battle of the Dromaeosaurs. We've got Atrociraptor, Pyroraptor, Deinonychus, and Velociraptor. Now, before you say, oh, you're missing Utahraptor, I have decided to exclude them from this battle because they are just way too strong for the other Velociraptors. So these guys don't stand a chance against Utahraptors. So that's why I'm not including them in this video. So there should be 6 of each species. We've got Atrociraptor, Pyroraptor, Deinonychus, and Velociraptor. We're going to release them all right now. Alright. So we've got every single Dromaeosaur species added in here. There we go. And now, predictions on what you think is going to happen. Who's going to win this? Is Pyroraptor going to win? Deinonychus? I think Deinonychus will be the ones to die first. Do you think Velociraptor will win or Atrociraptor? The winning pack will be any surviving members, and they all have random traits, and they'll end up here. So if Velociraptor wins, Quilliam will finally have some friends, and whoever else wins, Quilliam will probably die. Alright, so place your bets, and before we get into this, if you find yourself enjoying this video and want more content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. And let's see if we could get this channel to 1,500 subscribers. That would be amazing. But without further ado, let's get right into this. Alright. Let's first fast forward until something happens. They should start fighting each other at some point. We got Rexy versus Diablo. Alright. We got a fight between a Pyroraptor and a Deinonychus. A Pyroraptor and an Atrociraptor duking it out. Spinoceratops and Stegoceratops. Alright, that Pyroraptor got the first hit in. Alright, 84%. Well, they called it off there. That Deinonychus is down to 5%. We got a Velociraptor taking on an Atrociraptor. I'll have to put some meat feeders down so then they don't go hungry. Or some goat feeders. Maybe give them an excuse to hunt. Alright, they do a little dance. 44% against 65. That Velociraptor won. We got another Velociraptor via Atrociraptor fight. And another one here. We got Ghost taking on a Velociraptor. Atrociraptors are just much bulkier than Velociraptors. We got yet another Velociraptor via Atrociraptor fight. They're all going to call off their fights. Yep. We might have to put some feeders down for now. We're going to Velociraptor versus Pyroraptor fight. Velociraptor gets the first hit in. Is Pyroraptor going to get the second? Pyroraptor gets the second. We got a Pyroraptor going up against a Deinonychus, and a Atrociraptor going up against a Deinonychus. Rexy going up against Diablo again. Rexy just killed Diablo. Let's go. Alright, meanwhile we've got a fight with another Velociraptor and Pyroraptor, as well as an Atrociraptor and Pyroraptor. Oh, we got a death. One of the Pyroraptors has been eliminated. So at least they'll have food anyway. We got 2 Velociraptors duking it out. Looks like we have a Pyroraptor approaching a Velociraptor. Yep, Pyroraptor versus a Velociraptor. First hit from the Velociraptor. A dance. 3% from that Pyroraptor. Velociraptor won that fight. We got 2 Atrociraptors duking it out. We got a Deinonychus going up against an Atrociraptor. 63% against 96%. Is the Deinonychus going to fight back? They do a little dance. 25% against 85%. And a Deinonychus has been eliminated. 1 point lost for the Deinonychus, and Atrociraptor took him out. So we already have 1 Pyroraptor and 1 Deinonychus who died. Will this make 2? 51% against 70%. Alright, they're calling it off. We got a Velociraptor and a Pyroraptor duking it out. 67% against 83. 40% against 66. Scar versus Rex. 70% against 100. I kind of want to see what happens here. right. I think they'll call it off. 84 and 70. All right. They might call it off there. All right. That's more predictable. All right. Oh, we got an Atrociraptor that's been eliminated. And another Pyroraptor being eliminated by an Atrociraptor. All right, so now the Pyroraptors are down 2 members. Atrociraptor's down 1. And Deinonychus is down 1. So we'll have to see what happens next. We got a Deinonychus going up against an Atrociraptor. 60% against 100%. Right, 42% against 56. They call it off. That Deinonychus won the fight. We got a Spinoceratops that died to a Stegoceratops. That was bound to happen at some point. Maybe that'll be food for the Segisaurus, wherever it is. There it is. Anaconda. We got Deinonychus versus Atrociraptor. 42% against 100. And Deinonychus is now down 2 members. So Pyroraptor have lost 2, Deinonychus lost 2, and Atrociraptor lost 1. So far, the Velociraptors are at the upper hand. They haven't lost a single member yet. All right, we got Pyroraptor and Atrociraptor duking it out, 20%. And now Pyroraptor is down 3 members. So now there are only 3 Pyroraptors left. We got a Deinonychus, and it looks like Deinonychus may lose their 3rd member. We've got an Atrociraptor versus Velociraptor. That's the big one versus an Atrociraptor. They do a little dance. 2 Pyroraptors. All right, so it looks like Pyroraptor and Deinonychus might be wiped out first. Oh, we got Scar versus Rexy again. 29% against 100. I think the Carnivores might die. That's just food for Rexy. Yep, the Carnivores have been wiped out. Rexy is the apex predator here now. Both Carnivores died in the same exact spot. That's hilarious. All right, we got Velociraptor v. Atrociraptor, 75% against 100. It looks like Atrociraptor will be down 2 members. They do a little dance. Oh, Ghost just died. So now the Atrociraptors are down 3 members now. It looks like Velociraptor has the upper hand here. 100% against 58%. We'll have to see what happens here. I might have to do a rematch between the Raptor squad and the Atrociraptor squad. We'll have to see who wins. 16% versus 80%. They call it off. So now, Deinonychus is down 2 members. Pyroraptor and Atrociraptor, 3 members. And Velociraptor hasn't lost a single member. We got 3 dead Atrociraptor. Oh, we got Deinonychus now down by 3. Yeah, you're now down by 3 members. I think Velociraptor's got this in the bag. I think Quilliam's about to have a couple of friends. A bunch of friends, even. Looks like Deinonychus is about to lose their 4th member. So now there are only 2 Deinonychus left. I think Deinonychus might be the first to go. We only have 2 of them left. I think Velociraptor have won this. What are your traits? All right, for you, we've got small appetite and resilient. Fit, long-lived, resilient, humble, aggressive, and defensive. Social and aggressive. Quenched, fit, resilient, social, aggressive, and defensive. You know what? If the Velociraptors have enough members, they could probably bring down Rexy. 55% against 55%. They call it off. Yeah, they're evenly matched. We got a Velociraptor taking on an Atrociraptor. They're already down 3 members. 100 against 96. Alright, they do a little dance. 66%. Followed by a hit from Atrociraptor. 36% against 69%. We got a Pyroraptor that just killed a Velociraptor. That's our first Velociraptor death. And it's the big one, too. So now they are down a member. There's food. Alright, you're challenging another Pyroraptor to a fight. Is this a legit fight? Looks like a legit fight. 65 against 100. We might get our 2nd Velociraptor loss. Yep. Now they're down by 2 members. This is getting interesting. I think because a lot of them are getting hungry. I think that's why. I think Velociraptor still has a chance at winning. But now they're down. Now they only have 4 members left. Oh, we got a Velociraptor and a Atrociraptor fight. Because there's so much going on. 100 against 44. They're still alive. Or at 7% against 84%. Because we're getting so many notifications, I think we're missing a lot. They each got 1 hit in, 72% against 82%. Velociraptor's clearly stronger. We've got a Velociraptor going up against an Atrociraptor, 72% against 100%. Oh, and that's the 5th Atrociraptor out, which means this one is officially the last of its kind. We only have 1 Atrociraptor left. They may die first. Are there any Deinonychus left? No, there are 2 that are still alive. These 2 are still alive. Looks like we got Deinonychus going after the last living Atrociraptor. That Atrociraptor gets the first hit in, 58% against 100. The second hit from Deinonychus, bringing you down to 90%. They do a little dance, 16 against 80. They're calling it off. Atrociraptor versus Velociraptor, the last living. I think, yeah, Atrociraptor has officially gone extinct. They are the first elimination. Fully been eliminated. Atrociraptor was wiped out. Before Deinonychus, oddly enough. Oh, wait. We had 3 the entire time? We've still got 1 more Atrociraptor. Never mind. Hold on, we got a Velociraptor and a Pyroraptor. 78% against 54, 56 and 54. The Pyroraptor won that fight. Yeah, because there's so much going on, a lot of notifications from over there and a lot of notifications from over there. We've got, like, we don't really have time to look at the fights. Velociraptor versus Pyroraptor, we got 39% against 100. Pyroraptor's about to lose another member, it looks like. They do a little dance, 1%. They call it off there. We got Deinonychus going up against the last living Atrociraptor, 91% against 56. Can Deinonychus take out this last Atrociraptor? I don't think so. It's not looking too good. This last Atrociraptor is long live, nocturnal, social, and aggressive. They call off that fight, 82%. We got Pyroraptor and Velociraptor both at 100%. Velociraptor gets the first hit, bringing Pyroraptor down to 64. Followed by a hit from Velociraptor, or Pyroraptor. Then they do a little dance. 28% against 75%. It's not looking good for that Pyroraptor. They're going to call it off there. How many Pyroraptors are left? 1, 2, 3. We've still got 3 Pyroraptors left. Alright, another Pyroraptor has been eliminated. It looks like we're now down to 2 Pyroraptors now. 2 Pyroraptors, 2 Deinonychus, 1 Atrociraptor, and 3 Velociraptors. Alright, we got Velociraptor and Atrociraptor. Another Atrociraptor has been eliminated. 61%. Which means now we are only down to 1 Pyroraptor. Meanwhile, we've got a Deinonychus going up against the last remaining Atrociraptor. 62% against 100%. They do a little dance. 88% against 62. We've got a Velociraptor going up against the other Deinonychus. 64% against 100. And that Deinonychus has been eliminated. Which means we only have 1 Deinonychus left. Yep, I think Velociraptor has won this. They only have 4 members left. Yep. We got Deinonychus, 1. Pyroraptor, 1. Atrociraptor, only 1 left. And then Velociraptor, still 4 left. Yep, I think Velociraptor has got this. Up, we got the last Pyroraptor going up against a Velociraptor, 58% against I don't know what the Pyroraptor is because it's not allowing me to... Alright, there we go, 100%. And they're calling it off there. And we got Velociraptor versus Deinonychus, the last living Deinonychus. And just like that, Deinonychus has been eliminated. They are officially extinct. Now we just have one Pyroraptor and one Atrociraptor. And the Velociraptors have done this. Alright, Velociraptor versus Atrociraptor. Atrociraptor gets the first hit in. This Atrociraptor isn't going down without a fight. 72% against 100%. 82%, they do a little dance. Alright, they call it off here. 44% against 65%. Even if the Atrociraptor manages to bring down that Velociraptor, they still got 3 more to do. 3 more to go. Atrociraptor versus Velociraptor, 98% against 100. Ooh, Velociraptor lands the first hit in. 60% against 100. Ooh, followed by a hit from the Atrociraptor. Meanwhile, we've got Velociraptor versus Pyroraptor, both at 100%. They call off their fight. Pyroraptor gets the first hit in. I gotta say, though, they're not going down without a fight. The Pyroraptor and Atrociraptor. Imagine they end up wiping out the entire Velociraptors, and then it's just these two duking it out. Alright, Velociraptor versus Atrociraptor, 43%. Yeah, it's not looking too good. You put up a hell of a fight, Atrociraptor. A hell of a fight. But the Atrociraptor has been eliminated, and now it's just the Pyroraptor. Now it's just one Pyroraptor versus 4 Velociraptors. And it looks like Pyroraptor at 95% versus Velociraptor at 100%, 68. Velociraptor gets the first hit in. I think it's over. I think it's over. I think Quilliam is about to get a couple friends. They do call it off, though. But how much longer is the Pyroraptor going to survive for? No idea. Alright, I'll let you guys know when something happens. And it's over. Velociraptor has won. 4 members remaining. So now, our new Velociraptors have entered this arena. So they should be good to go now. We got 5 Velociraptors living here. So we've got Quilliam. Let's name a few of these raptors. We've got... We'll name you Scorch. We'll name you Sandra. You can be Viper. And you can be... I don't know. Leopard? We'll name you Leopard. Alright, so we've got Leopard, Sandra, Viper, and Scorch. Quilliam's new pack mates. Alright, and with that, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.